I think what's happening right now is people are watching this or they're listening to this right now, and they are thinking, okay, so you got this successful business where you're a sports agent, and then all of a sudden you wake up one day and you're like, that's boring. I'm going to go into the music business. So what was there somebody that you knew that got you in? Did you have a connection? Did you just all of a sudden say, okay, today I'm going to,
No, no.
like
I would.
how did it,
Okay,
transpire?
so I'll give you the philosophy. Amway. I don't know if you remember Amway growing up. So I was in the Amway business. Someone put me in the Amway business. I was 20 years old. And again, our philosophy at Amway was you have a main business and go out and sell whatever you do. You're a school teacher, you're a lawyer. Start selling these Amway products. And eventually you'll get to the point where your Amway sales will be bigger than your school teacher and your lawyer salary, and you'll be independent. So, and that's what Amway, they really teach you. I took that philosophy of Amway and, and I used it on my own business. So I stayed in the sports business, but simultaneously, as I was doing the sports business, I started experimenting in music. So I did a Happy Together tour, which is still, with the Turtles and the Grassroots, the package tours, because I learned that in the Catskills, how to package artists. And no one was doing that. So I came up with this idea in '84 when I first met my first band. I got a call. A guy read an interview about me in the LA Times. I was negotiating Vince Ferragamo's contract. He says, "You want to represent the association?" So I took on the band. I went to see them and I took them on. Now, I had never done music before, but we have a word in Judaism called chutzpah. I'm going to take a chance. Did I learn how to be a sports agent? No, there was no such thing back then. So I said to a player, I'm going to go and I said to Lupinello, let me go and negotiate your contract with George Steinbrenner. I'll do a better job than you can do. And I proved to him that I could. I went up against George and I was able to negotiate because, no one should negotiate for themselves. So I went and I learned just by doing that. And once I was successful doing that, I picked up other clients and other clients. So yes, chutzpah, you take a chance and you go, you do it. And always bearing in mind that you still have a client. I was reading an article last night about a player agent who's suing his agent because the agent, never returned calls. He had an offer for $70 million to play for a basketball team. The agent was trying to be cool, didn't turn down a $70 million guarantee. Now the guy's making $3 million. Look at Schroeder, even Schroeder of the Lakers. He had like a $70-80 million guarantee, and his agent turned it down. Now he's playing for the Celtics for $5 million. So, a lot of times these agents get in the way. You hear about Scott Boras, and you hear about the $1 zillion contracts that he made, but you go look at all the deals that he turned down. Now, the reason he got those $1 zillion deals is because maybe he is having that fear factor. But there's somebody who took that punishment who didn't get that contract because the agent was too tough. So, it's a fine balance you have to be, to represent the player and then realize, I always had a feeling of what's enough, how much is enough. And so it's taking a chance. No, I didn't throw out the sports business when I had the entertainment business. I was doing both simultaneously, but then the entertainment business just took precedence because it took a lot more work. I was making a lot more money than I was as a sports agent because I owned the merchandising, I owned ticket sales, sponsorship, so it was fun. So eventually, once
you were getting creative as far as like packaging these deals together, and you were getting little cuts on all these different areas of the business. And so, is there something that we can learn from that? Just the average little small business out there. Should they be looking at creating multiple streams of income versus just working at a 9-to-5 job?
100%.
Talk about that? Yeah.
Yeah. First of all the restaurants today, the Postmates and if you own a restaurant, there's so much online business. You own a store, online is the place to go. So, Barnes and Noble, I walked into their store last night, The Grove, in Los Angeles, and it's empty, And then, but I said to my daughter, I said, they're making their money. That's an advertisement for online, and online is everything today. So yes, you have to look for different multiples. Last year I'm in the live music business. Nothing got hurt more than the live music business during COVID. So right away I came up with this concept. I'm going to do live Zooms that you can talk to the rock stars. And I did Roger Daltrey, I had Styx the band, I had the Scorpions, I had Rudy Sarzo giving bass lessons. You name it. I did 160 master classes over Zoom, and it was amazing. Now, was it super profitable? Wasn't super profitable because I split it with the artist. But what I did do was I kept my brand going and the awareness. So you always have to be one step ahead, and take your brand, and and I wrote a book that 10 years ago called Rocking Your Business, things you can learn from these rock stars. And let me tell you something, there's a lot you can learn, because the brands like Kiss, the Beatles, the Stones, they're still making multi-million dollars. I mean, the Beatles coming out with this new film now. I walked into Barnes and Noble last night. The records are out. The merchandising is out. The Rolling Stones are out there touring, grossing over 10 million a night. I mean, how many businesses 50 years ago are still around today? And so you can learn a lot from rock stars.
Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. All right. So let's get into this band camp thing. All right. And I'm just thinking, like, people want to know. I mean, look, I never played in a band, before. I mean, am I excluded from something like this?
You play an instrument?
I don't play an instrument necessarily, but maybe karaokeing every once in a while.
Okay, so you sing. So
who is this for? Who is this camp
okay.
for?
First of all, I have to tell you that the movie, Rock Camp, the movie, really gives you an insight to rock and roll fantasy camp. And I'm really proud of the film because, number one, it's 95% Rotten Tomatoes. Even Jimmy Fallon loved it. And it's available on Amazon. It's available on Apple. People should see this film because I'll tell you about the movie. Whether you love music or not, what I was hoping the most to get out of this film is, I'm 40 years old. I'm 30 years old. I created an app. I created an idea. I have a thought to make money. This film will motivate you to don't be scared. Go do your dream. These people do it through music. You can do it. You can do it. My wife's an artist. At 50 years old, she's finding a lot of success now. She was scared. She graduated college, and all of a sudden, then she got into NFTs now, and now she's turning it into a wonderful business. So I think people fear is a big factor, that people are scared to take their ideas. Everybody's walking around with $1 million idea. Everyone has it in their mind, but they're scared to do it. And that's why I wrote the book. That's why I did the film. I want people to get over their fears and take their ideas and run with it. And I show you how to do it in the book. But anyways, the camp, whether you're a vocalist or you're a music enthusiast, and you really want to immerse yourself into understanding music and rock and roll, camp's a great place to go. We put you in a band. You get to jam with legends like Dave Mustaine, Joe Perry, and you learn so much, whether it's team building. I had the owner of Oracle come to my camp, and he walks into a band with a bunch of his friends, comes with the whole band. He says to the guy, we want to do this song. Says to the rock star. And the rocker turns to him, excuse me, sir, I need to teach the song to 5 other people in the band. So you learn to listen. You learn general life lessons. I had a young lady last night. She was on one of our Zoom calls, and she said she was the most paranoid person in the world, afraid to walk into a room with strange people. She came to the camp. It broke all her. Now she's not afraid to walk into a room. So I've seen the most life-changing experiences, not to do with music, just to be surrounded by these musicians and artists.
And I'm sure just in the being in that environment, I mean, you're going to hear things, you're going to learn things, you're going to capture ideas, you're going to get to rub elbows a little bit with somebody that that's been successful in this arena. And so you go, wow, I mean, what could you learn from something like this? And so is there,
I'll tell you what you're going to learn. You know what you're going to learn? You're going to learn to be authentic. You're going to learn about people who at high school and college had to make a decision. Do I go to get a regular job like 99.9999% of the world? Or do I go live my dream? And these people went to live their dream. And you can learn how to be authentic from these rock stars. It's incredible that these rock stars who are alive today and survived and who are surviving, you can learn from them because they have their total happiness. You know what they all have? In those 160 classes that I found, that not a, that they all had that same common denominator, whether it was Alice Cooper, whether it was Def Leppard, the passion to wake up every morning and get creative, write a song. People say to me, oh, when they sign up for rock camp, they put down their excellent guitarists, and then I'll ask the rock star. I said, are they excellent? He says, very good, no question, David. He's very good. She's very good. I said, but the difference is, I play my instrument 5 hours a day. I'm using my finger picks and with my fingers. People like Joe Walsh, people like Keith Richards, they play their guitars. They have so many of them. They pick them up, but they practice every day. So people who have passion, who do their work, my favorite line is, luck is when preparation meets opportunity. Oh, you're so lucky, David. No. You prepare for it.